So in terms of my COVID story, I was very fortunate. I had very little symptoms. In fact, so much so that I didn't even realize that I had COVID. Now, it's out for debate. I had a PCR test. We were going to Beaches Resort, and so we had to get tested before we were going, and I came back positive. So this was like, wow, okay, had no idea. The only symptoms that I had been experiencing that week was this really angry canker sore at the back of my mouth, and I had this like little buzziness in my nose, and I was feeling really tired, and I really attributed that to my moon cycle, and then just coming off the tail end of Christmas and New Year's, lots of eating and drinking. I just really thought my immune system is down, so I was really quite surprised. But after speaking to the Ministry of Health, they said that most of the cases are very mild. So that's really something to consider, that, that not all of it, not every case is dire, or there is hospitalization. So I right away implemented my strategy, because I didn't know if it was going to get worse, if it was going to like really stick into my body and start attacking. So I right away implemented some of the protocols that I had read about. I had spoken to some of my healer friends, some of my naturopathic doctor friends, and it just kind of like really educated myself. I'm a natural person. I would rather go that route first, really delve into that. So some of the things that I did was I took vitamin C with quercetin. So quercetin is really important. It's an antioxidant. We've been told since we were kids, take your vitamin C, drink your orange juice when you're sick, right? So that's a no-brainer there. I was taking up to 10,000 milligrams a day. So that works out to being about 1,000 milligrams an hour, like once an hour. But you have to kind of gauge that with your gut, right? So you might not be able to reach that right away. So you kind of have to just feel how your stomach, feels. Okay, so and quercetin is actually quite abundant in lemongrass. So if you haven't had lemongrass, it makes a beautiful tea, and then you could microdose with this, right? So you make a big tea, you drink it, you sip it all day long, and then you'll be dosing your body with that important antioxidant. The other thing is zinc, right? So really important. You can take up to 100 milligrams a day. Again, it's hard on the stomach. You need to eat it with food. Kind of gauge it. I take it before going to bed. That seems to be more helpful for me. And then I also took ivermectin, right? So ivermectin is now coming out as being this really important medicine. Like frontline doctors have been using it, to help with the first signs of COVID, and sending them home with a prescription of that, right? So taking a dose of that once a week. So that's what I did. I had ivermectin on hand. It's kind of funny because you can't really find it, on Amazon. So you have to buy it as a horse paste, right? So it's really common to give to animals. It's an anti-parasitic medicine. But you can get it as a prescription. It is readily available in a lot of developing countries. And so I just took a little bit of that once a week. You can also take it as preventative measures. I've posted some articles and videos about it, so if you want to know about it or talk to your doctor about it. And yeah, so I do think it's a very potent, good medicine. For me, it was. Okay, so that really helped to kind of stop that from embedding into our cells. So our immune body has so many different immune cells that that get triggered, and it takes a while for these viruses to get out of our body, right? From 7 to 14 days. This is why we have to quarantine for 14 days, right? So the other thing I was taking was mushrooms. Now, anyone that knows me, I'm a huge proponent of mushrooms, medicinal mushrooms, right? So this blend here has like 15 different mushrooms. Some of the most potent ones are chaga, reishi, cordyceps. Those are your really important immune boosting mushrooms, as well as lion's mane. And I'll circle back to lion's mane because it's one of my favorite mushrooms of the moment. So taking this also helped. And then I also, it's in the cupboard. It's like one of those things, as soon as we feel anything, our family always takes its oil of oregano. And I really, it's very spicy. It's kind of, it's like a good dose to kick out anything that might be even festering in your mouth, right? So your mouth is an extension of your immune system, right? Your esophagus lined all the way through your intestinal, your colon, right? So, having good gut health is also, tied to your immune system, right? So if you have any kind of gut disorders, any stomach issues, you need to really address that, because that's, that is an extension of your immune system. So if you don't know too much about that, look it up. There's a lot of information out there about it. There's wonderful people on island who know about this stuff too, so seek them out. The other thing is teas. Right, so I'm really big into teas, into microdosing these nutrients into the body all day long. So I make a big picture of it. I fill up these beautiful bottles, with all kinds of tea concoctions. So if you do experience more the respiratory part of COVID, unfortunately that didn't happen for me, but I was, concerned about it. So I still was taking herbs for that. So NAC is really important for that. It breaks down the mucus in your lungs. So really important, really important. It's hard to find now in the States. Amazon has taken it off. I don't know what's going on with FDA and all this kind of stuff, but that is sort of the deal with supplements. There's always a battle between, allopathic and homeopathic medicine. So anyways, you can find it. You can find it on island here too, and I do highly recommend that. We have soursop tea. Okay, so if you live in the islands, you might be lucky enough to have a soursop tree. You could pluck the leaves like I do. I have a couple soursop trees, and again, you can make your tea with that. I also have drank copious amounts of echinacea tea. So echinacea is a flower, and it's really great, has really great properties for fighting infections. So right at the very beginning, you start drinking these teas. You can also get other blends, right, that have nettle tops, eyebright, peppermint, lemongrass, skullcap, calendula, more blends. And then I have this Moroccan tea. They actually call it the tea of life, right? It's a beautiful tea. There's like big chunks of ginseng, flower petals, lemon verbena, a whole host of different herbs. So, I just like making my little combination, and I just drink that all day long. The other thing is you want to consume foods that have a high amount of shikimate, right? I did a little video about it. Just, have a look at that. Pine pollen is one of those plants. So I was lucky enough to get some, and so you can add that, as well as schisandra berries and elderberries, which have a high amount of vitamin C in them. Okay, and and also star anise or fennel seeds. Okay, so you want to add those into your teas. Try not to make it too potent. You might not be able to drink it because those are very potent spices. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I did for those 2 weeks. I didn't drink, I, ate really clean, right? So lots of fresh fruits and vegetables, juiced, to get a lot of those nutrients into my body. And, I rested, I slept, I got out in the sun. So the sun is also sunshine, vitamin D, or if you don't have that much around, or if you're really sick and you're stuck at home, you need to get, like a D3 supplement, and make sure that you get that into your body. And if you're in colder climates, you might need to get some cod liver oil to help you absorb that vitamin D, okay? So that is what I did. I exercised as well because, like I said, I wasn't feeling poorly, so Jack dragged me to do some like boot camp stuff, and but like just getting a nice walking around your place, make sure that you're getting enough sunshine. If you do have that available to you, at least 30 minutes, get it on your skin. You need to absorb it. No sunscreen. Get it on your skin, get it on your face, in your eyes, to absorb into your body. And that was pretty much it. Stay hydrated, rest up, use it as a wonderful time to reconnect with yourself. Use it as a time to reevaluate, what's working for you, not working for you. If you do get very sick, that would be my suggestion. And then, in terms of like ongoing protocols, because there's more and more information coming out about the spike protein, how that could affect your brain. And so I continue to take herbs for my brain. It's a very important organ, obviously. So again, I've take this, Paul Stamets has put together some beautiful blends. Okay, so there's a brain one that has a bunch of herbs for your brain: lion's mane, bacopa, reishi, gotu-kola, which I've just learned that can be grown here too, is grown here, ginkgo biloba, and cordyceps. Okay, so that's really great. I also bought this blend, the Mind. This has a bunch of other herbs in it too, different from the Paul Stamets blend. It has macuma, lucuma, and brahmi and holy basil. So that's really important. And then I also add in some pine pollen. Pine pollen also has this shikimate quality. It's very good for boosting your immune system. And you can find all kinds of little blends, right? So this is another little mushroom blend. This can go in your coffee. It can go in your smoothies. Yeah, those are, two great ways of getting it down the hatch. And then I also take a collagen booster, right? So this is a vegan collagen booster, to continue to protect my connective tissue in the body. So there's a bunch of different herbs in here: he shu, horsetail, nettle, guangulan, I can't pronounce that, calendula, and mangosteen. So so it's it's an ongoing to continue with your healthy protocols, and really take the time to really evaluate and take a moment to do what's best for you and your family. And what I've chosen to do might be different from what other people do, and I'm just sharing my story. So again, I'm not a doctor. These are just things that I researched. These are things I feel comfortable with doing, because I've been doing this for so long. Being really involved with understanding my relationship with food. And I hope that this has been helpful. And please, reach out. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you have anything to add to this, there are plenty of healers and wellness people and doctors, and so I really encourage any comments that you'd like to share with other people, things that you've done for your family or your patients, would be great. And love you all, and let's just keep on breathing, keep on believing and trusting God. Cheers.